At that time, Jesus walked by the sea. Jesus here is walking as he begins our gospel passage. And as we heard prior to this gospel, we listened to Psalm 23, "The Lord is my shepherd." That psalm reminded me of the work I did as a Jesuit novice in a prison in Jamaica, when I was told to open up a school there about 20 years ago now, open up a school and teach some of the people there how to read. And so we opened up this old school building, dusted off the windowsills, got the desks ready, and for about 3 or 4 months, we ran a class teaching literacy. At the first class, we were wondering how to begin. And I suggested that because my grandmother always loved that Psalm 23, that maybe we should begin our class that way. And so we did every day. There we were in this really difficult place, talking about the Lord as the shepherd, leading us by verdant pastures and giving us repose. It was interesting, I thought. In this gospel, Jesus is walking. But in the prison there, the men just simply couldn't walk out. Sometimes we're put in those situations ourselves. But what the calming effect was of that psalm, and particularly in relation to this gospel, I think, is what those prisoners experienced in Jamaica, that they could walk with the Lord, even though they were tied down to one particular place. That prayer that we prayed every day gave so much solace, gave so much consolation. It focused us into where we were, and it brought us the presence of Christ in a very difficult context, a very difficult environment. They felt that they could begin their day walking with Jesus, just as Jesus began his day walking with the crowds and the disciples today. I think also those men in the prison knew that shepherds, in what they do, have to walk, and that they and we walk and continue to walk with Jesus, no matter what our circumstances. Even if we can't get out of the house, Jesus wants to walk with us. And then, in the second half of our gospel passage today, something happens. Jesus orders the crowd to sit down. And so now they're in one place. They're not moving anymore. And Jesus is there in their presence. What does Jesus do? Jesus, when he's not walking with us, gives us himself. He gives us himself in the Eucharist. He didn't want those people to walk away hungry. He always wanted to stay with them. He wanted to be with them. He wanted to give himself to them out of compassion and out of his great love. He did not want to send them away hungry. And he does not want us to walk without him either. The broken bread will make us whole. It makes us whole with him. We love the Eucharist. We love the real presence in the Eucharist. We yearn for that Eucharist. And so even those who are, quote unquote, spiritually unable to walk with Jesus now can, to be by his side, to be with him. Whether we're in a place where we can't just walk out the door, we know that Jesus is walking with us, beside us, always calling us, always looking at us with his loving eyes, waiting for us to respond.